Good afternoon, and thank you for attending this informative press conference. My name is Lieutenant Christopher Melchin. I am the Fire and Emergency Administrator for the Washington Fire Department. I called this conference to provide important information of an incident that happened over the weekend of a train derailment. I am here to clarify and to answer any questions of how my department responded to this incident and the actions we took to mitigate this hazardous spill. First, I'd like to give a little background on how we respond to incidences. Over the last few years, I have been trying to secure funding to raise my count to the minimum standard set forth by the NFPA. The NFPA 1710 ensures that there will be 4 firefighters per apparatus, such as an engine company or a ladder company, that respond to incidences. This 4-man minimum would give the safety to the responders, but would also give me the flexibility to provide mutual aid coverage and assistance to the surrounding cities and towns. Unfortunately, I have not been able to secure any additional funding to raise my count. So as of right now, my count will still be only 2 members per truck and 2 members per engine. Finally, I want to talk about the incident that took place over the weekend. At 10 a.m. on January 12, 2019, a rail car derailed on the hill above Main Street. Main Street is the main entrance to the Sunny Day Nursing Home. This nursing home historically floods from rainfall from the hill. When Engine 1 arrived to the scene, they had multiple rail cars that were leaking a toxic solution. They decided it was impossible to evacuate all the residents of the Sunnydale Nursing Home. The Sunnydale Nursing Home has 120 residents that are non-ambulatory. So with the only 2 members on the engine company, it was impossible for them to evacuate them all. The officer in Engine 1 decided that him and the firefighter would go downhill and try to make a barrier between the runoff of the rail cars and the entrance to the Sunny Day Nursing Home. The Sunny Day Nursing Home does not have any natural barriers or man-made barriers to prevent any runoff from getting into the front door. The officer and the firefighter, wearing their appropriate PPE that were assigned to them, made a dam and a dike and diverted the caustic soda away from the entrance of the Sunny Day Nursing Home. This definitely saved multiple lives in the nursing home. Unfortunately, the runoff that they created found its way into the river. And when it got into the river, it unfortunately had an adverse effect to some marine life in the river. After the incident, I spoke with both the officer and the firefighter about them entering the hot zone, not wearing appropriate PPE. They assured me that during the conditions that they were in, there was no hazardous materials that would come in contact with them. They were technically outside of the danger area. They felt confident in doing what they did in providing the safety to the community and the nursing home. It is my opinion that the actions of these 2 men that saved countless lives in that nursing home were the correct actions. But as we all do on the fire department, we learn from every incident. So going forward, we are going to try to streamline our training to the operations level, provide acceptable PPE for all of my apparatus, and hopefully we can divert any massive loss of life like we did over the weekend on January 12th. Thank you, and now I will open up the floor to any questions that you may have.